hit record. Now it's going all shaky again.
Oh, man.
So if it does that, it's all right.
It's all right. Sorry about it.
I'm Jared, by the way.
I'm Josh. How y'all doing?
What did y'all do this past weekend?
Yeah, for real, man. What did we do this past weekend? Well, I know what the man did, and I'm looking forward to that story because I like the video. I'll tell you what I did. I went to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor was in town, and I went down to watch it. And I'm not gonna. If anybody's watching that does the TV show, I get it. Not gonna ruin nothing for you. I might ruin a couple of matches, but not who wins them.
Spoil it Bischoff style.
Yeah, I will not tell you who wins them or anything like that. But there were a couple of things. First of all, Ring of Honor Live is really dope. Very, very cool. And fortunately, living in Atlanta, we live in one of the only venues they routinely play that is like an auditorium. So you are not just on the floor in a folding chair trying to do this number between heads.
That's one reason why I've yet to be to one of their shows, because everyone I've ever seen is like, it just looks to me, if you're not in the front row, good luck seeing anything.
Yeah, it's just, any show you go to that's just a floor with folding chairs, you're just kind of doing this all night. Or the best thing to do at shows like that is go to the back and stand up if you can.
I don't like WWE shows on the floor.
Yeah, it's not good for anybody.
I did it one time, a long time ago. They did a Raw at the Gwinnett Center that, I was like, okay, how bad can it be? I'm going to splurge and go and get me a floor seat. And I didn't have like a front row floor seat, but it was close enough. And man, honestly, you don't want it. I'm telling you, you don't want it. You want to be on that first level up off the floor.
I totally agree, man.
That's really where you want to be.
Yeah, man, I'm like that in everything.
And every seat in center stage is that way.
Yeah, it's all stadium style.
That's what's so awesome about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a couple of rows toward the top where you'll get trapped because it probably should be condemned by the Fulton County Fire Department, but I don't care. I like the building and it's neat.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, well, seriously,
we're not gonna buy new seats.
Yeah, they're not that tall. You can jump over them. It's not a problem. If you really had to get out of there, you could.
Yeah.
That's something I can tell you because it won't be on TV, man. But the MC basically of the night comes out and does his talk, and then Bubba Ray Dudley comes out. I know he's Bully Ray, but I'm still going to call him Bubba Ray Dudley forever because I'm just too dumb to remember who he is this week. But it was cool, man. That's the place where they used to do the WCW tapings, and it was cool. It was very, very cool. That's where Saturday Night was filmed, where the old NWA stuff was taped. So it's a pretty historic building.
Yeah.
So Bubba Ray Dudley comes out and grabs the mic and cuts this little mini promo about how it's the first time he's ever been in that building and how cool it was to him because of all the history in it. It was awesome. It was like Paul E style. Like we were talking about, like you can tell that the guy learned to cut promos from Paul E Dangerously because it had that heartfelt thing, and you can't always tell if that's true or not. But I don't care if you fool me, good on you.
Yeah.
But it was cool, and he is such a history dude that it makes sense that it'd be meaningful to him to be like, man, this is Arn and Tully's house, man. It was dope. He was like, he seemed like super, keyed up to be there, and that was just neat, man. And he is a monster, God Almighty. I mean, I know you know that dude's big, but it's he's a hefty. He is a healthy fella.
It seems like the type of promo that somebody comes out to cut at the start of a show to turn at the end of it, and you can all kiss my ass.
Yeah, for real, to go straight Shane Douglas on us. I'm waiting for that. They're working on that, and this isn't ruining nothing. Y'all already know if you follow the TV show. They're working on that with the Briscoes and Bully because they're the 6-man, and it's cool. They're a good unit, and I like them together. I love them as being kind of the senior team of that 6-man bracket because then you can help guys out, put guys over, and that's kind of what they've been doing. So that, and I think that's a cool way to do it. It's always good to have a veteran somewhere, like Natty being the champ on SmackDown. We've talked about it. It's real cool because for your next star builder, give it to somebody that's got some cred, and she's good. I like that kind of stuff. I don't mind.
I heard somebody on the internet trying to give blowback of her winning the title. Like, oh, Natalya again? She hasn't had it in 7 years.
Again. Okay, well, I'm going to need you.
About?
Let's jump over to the Raw side.
It doesn't matter because I can't remember who even said it, but it was just
one
of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard in a long time.
I'm going to complain about everything I possibly can because the Raw belt has just been a 3-way revolving door, and one of them's not there anymore, and that's okay because she's on SmackDown now. But dude, it's just like, just give it to somebody and leave it with somebody for Pete's sake. We'll get into that in a moment, actually. Actually, we can do that now, and I'll dip back, because I don't want to ruin nothing from Ring of Honor for you, man. But there are a couple of matches that are dope. Kenny King and Hangman Page have a match that is definitely worth your time. And the other one that I loved was War Machine and Coast to Coast and the Tempura Boys in like just a 3-way tornado tag thing. And it's one of those things that when they announced it, I'm like, God, that sounds good. And then they get in the ring and do it, and it was like, oh, it was so good. It was cool, man.
Yeah.
But yes, if Ring of Honor comes to town, by all means go. I'm sorry if you don't have the stadium seats. It's still cool.
Yeah.
Just be in the house. But if you want to go to the back and stand up, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
The thing that's different about Atlanta also is there's no rail, so you don't get to walk down and hit everybody. But if you got front row seats and a Bullet Club shirt, they'll still come over and give you one. So don't worry about that.
Get this. Life's about sacrifices.
Yeah.
And I'll take stadium seating over a rail.
Me too. Yeah, the entrance is way cooler because it's just a ramp. Not a ramp, it's steps that they walk down. They got pyro and.
Yeah, that's the way the center stage is set up. I mean, they have a stage, like any other concert venue, a little bit of a bowl area, and then it seats up. So the ring takes up so much of that bowl at the stage. There's no room for. I think it would be cool for NXT comes there from time to time. Ring of Honor's there like twice a year now, to try to bring back that. Ramp from the stage to the ring. I think it would be a good thing to try.
New Japan
there.
style. I love that because I love it.
It seems like you could very easily do that there, but I'm afraid it would kind of like screw up the ring setup. Who knows?
It's a cool idea. I love the ramp that goes into the side of the ring just because of some of the stuff that guys come up with to do off of it.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
So,
I like when.
Of all the places, it seems like you could do that there.
Absolutely, because like it's the least distance.
Yeah.
And this is a ruiner too, but if you already saw the first one, it doesn't matter. The Young Bucks can't get in that building and not stage dive. They have to do it.
Yeah.
But it was Matt this time, so now they're 1-1, so they each got to do one.
Yeah.
And it was impressive. It was quite cool. That one, I won't tell you who's in that one, just in case you don't know, because it could be a nice surprise. So check it out. It was awesome, and it's always fun to go down, and it's super easy. I mean, if you go early enough, there's a parking lot right there. There's a Da Vinci's Pizza right down the street. So they actually serve Da Vinci's at the venue too, so you can get good pizza in that building. But it's just, man, it was just
$5
cool.
slices.
Yeah, they'll hook you right up. Ain't no
Something like that.
I think it's something like that, man. But I walk in the door and I ran into our buddy Chacho Santiago. What's up, man? If you happen to be watching this, man, it was good to see you, dude. It was awesome. Yeah. But he's there with his son Vic, man. And it was weird. I was telling Jared, man, I saw this kid across the way with the NXT title, and I was kind of staring at him, and I felt bad because I just got confused on whether or not he had like the new title or the original NXT belt. And I'm like, man, they're selling replicas of the new one already? Yeah. And then I kept getting closer and realized that it was the classic. Oh, that's cool. Well, in the meantime, he's got the classic NWA strap around his waist, and he's got this other like custom championship over his arm that I recognized from Chacho's Instagram. And then I realized the guy standing there in front of him talking to him, as though it is a father talking to his son, is a father talking to his son, and it's a father that we know named Chacho. Right. So it was awesome. It was very, very cool to see you. I'm going to send you a link to this video, man, so you get the shout out. But it was awesome. But he was telling me that he posted a pic of Vic with the Young Bucks from the meet and greet that was really quite cool. Very cool, because the Bucks were on either side of him giving the two sweet. And they loaded him up, man. Honest to God, he had like a 6-man tag belt and the ROH tag belts on each arm. Yeah. So apparently that's what happens. If you're a kid and you like the Bucks or you like the Bullet Club, they load you down with titles. Because he's got one with Cody, it's the same thing. Yeah. What a cool thing. But
my fear when I saw that photo, because I think I saw the same thing come across Facebook, and there's an old joke from the movie I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, where dudes in town are dying due to overgolding.
Yeah, overgold.
You don't overgold.
Yeah, we're concerned about that with the Bucks because, man, every time they turn around, they got a new championship.
I was concerned for Victor. I was like, look out for the kids.
Seriously, y'all got to be careful now. That's what the 6-man belts are silver, isn't it? They're trying to help out. They're trying to cut down on that AU poisoning.
Mr. Big is overgolden the youth of the community.
That's awesome, man. Oh, shoot. Oh, but Chach was telling me, man, that you're a little kid and you meet the Young Bucks. If I met the Young Bucks, I wouldn't say nothing, couldn't get a picture, couldn't do nothing. I would just, there's no way I could do it. Yeah. But then they sign a picture for him, it's all good. And when he's going, he's like all keyed up and he forgot his picture. And literally the Bucks were like, yo, Victor, hang on, you forgot your picture, man. And he said, Vic immediately looked at him and was like, they know my name. And I was like, he's in the Bullet Club now. So I think that's awesome. I love that was his reaction, man. But that's very cool of them to look out. Yeah. But like, man, it's just cool. Made me happy, man.
Cool.
And that was before the show. Then we went to the show, and it was great. Like, sweet. And Mark Briscoe was running around the lobby for no reason whatsoever other than that he's Mark Briscoe, and he can just do whatever he wants to. It was awesome. It was awesome. He, like, popped down the stairs and then walked back up, and then I'm sitting there waiting to ask.
Stop me?
I'm waiting to ask the ticket guy where I go, and this dude comes walking by and he's like, "Excuse me," and it's Mark Briscoe. I'm like, "Hey, no problem, brother. Have a good night, man."
Look for a turlet.
Maybe for man, where do you keep the John in here?
So this one's down the street to Occupado.
Hey, for real, I can't be going down there no more. They recognize my face.
I miss the Ring of Honor show because something y'all may or may not know about me. I'm like a bobblehead freak.
Yeah, buddy. Good thing to be.
I'm a promotional giveaway freak when it comes to baseball games and stuff like that. And long before the Ring of Honor show was announced, the promotional schedule was set for the Gwinnett Braves.
Yeah, buddy.
And the night that I had circled that had to be there was Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone.
Bobblehead night.
That's right.
If you don't know this, now you know. If you aren't listening to the What Happened When podcast, you would already know that since Tony Schiavone has been out of wrestling, he has been the voice of the Gwinnett Braves, and he's been doing that for the past several years that the team's been up there. And it's kind of an iffy thing going on with them. The point is, they had a Tony Schiavone bobblehead night, and August 26th already had circled on the calendar. So when you hear Ring of Honor's doing a show that night, Conor McGregor's having a fight that night, and the Falcons are opening up Mercedes-Benz Arena, like, I can't be at any of them. I've got to be in Gwinnett.
That's right.
At a minor league baseball game, because that's what cool people do, you know.
It's Tony Schiavone bobblehead night, man. Yeah, like seriously, minor league like promotions are the best thing ever. I totally agree. They give out some amazingly cool stuff. But minor league baseball rules, especially if you're a Braves fan, because the big club is struggling because they're young. But oh my God, like every level, they can play.
And what I mean about an iffy situation when it comes to the Gwinnett Braves is they've had this promotion running all season long about changing the name of the team. Why? I don't understand why they're doing that. Maybe the plan is to do that at every level on down in the next 2 or 3 years.
That's what I think, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But, you go first, though. I'm sorry.
What I'm worried about is the first thought I had was, okay, you're changing the name of the team because, you know, minor league. Gwinnett, Mississippi, who am I missing?
For Pete's sake, it's the one in North Carolina.
Greenville.
Yeah, thank you.
Are all the Greenville, Mississippi, Gwinnett Braves. They're all called the Braves. It has always been that way.
The Mississippi Braves wear the old Milwaukee Braves hats. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it looks cool. I love it. That was a cool decision.
I guess part of the reason is, okay, minor league teams are known for having kind of funky, crazy names that you couldn't get away with anywhere else. And but when I heard that the only team talking about changing the name was the Gwinnett Braves, like, okay, are they not going to be affiliated with the Atlanta Braves anymore? So I don't. That question really hasn't been answered yet. The other thing that kind of got people, I think people were kind of rushing to judgment on this is like, oh, you know, they're just sowing the seeds for changing the name of the Atlanta team.
Yeah,
that's what the whole move has been about.
That's everybody's knee-jerk reaction.
So what? Change.
Who cares?
Change the name.
Who cares?
As long as it's not as terrible as what I hear the Gwinnett Braves are going to be called, then go right ahead. But so far, the leading name that I heard is the Gwinnett Big Mouth. I guess kind of like a bass, but that's god awful.
I completely agree.
That may be enough to get Tony Schiavone out of there and go back to announcing wrestling. Who knows?
Horseman. Gwinnett Horseman. Sorry to
be
distracted. My phone is like 9,000 degrees, so I'm going to turn the thing off. And I'm serious. If that thing hasn't caught fire yet, don't worry about your iPhones, because the HTC One is nuclear when it gets hot. It's fine.
Don't get burnt, brother.
It's more of that stuff where it's so hilarious that people that find it ridiculous that natives would be offended by native references are offended at the notion of changing the name. You do realize how contradictory that is. Who cares? Atlanta's baseball team can be called whatever the heck they want to call them. It's still my team. I'm going to love them.
Yeah.
But the Gwinnett thing, I wish that people would just exhale, celebrate your Republican victories in November. Political correctness is not coming to get you today. Just calm down. Minor league baseball teams that do not have the same name as their major league affiliates sell 1 billion times more merchandise because it's something different. You're not just buying a Braves jersey because all the teams dress like the Atlanta team except for the cap. And caps are nice. But what's a cap when you can buy a shirt? What's a cap when you're giving up T-shirt sales? That's the only reason they're doing it. You make more money when you're not called whatever you are. And the reason, not just in merchandise, but the other reason you make more money is when it comes time to renegotiate that contract, you can be anybody's minor league team. So that's the deal. Like the Columbus Clippers were the Yankees' AAA team for 1 billion years because Steinbrenner was an Ohio guy. He wanted them in Columbus. It's all good. Well, George has passed away, and his kids don't care. So there's that. And now it's the Indians' AAA team because they're the Columbus Clippers. So that's just all it is. It's just business. Stop losing your minds that political correctness is trying to kill you and celebrate the capitalism that so many people that have a problem with political correctness say that they love. Love it. That's it in action. It's somebody making themselves more money. Good for them. Good for the Bravos. I do hate the idea for the name. But them changing the name doesn't bother me a bit. And I almost do hope Mississippi stays the Braves just because the hats are so cool. But that's just me being greedy.
You can change the name and keep the hat.
Absolutely. You can still be Mississippi something. It's okay. Just keep that Milwaukee hat. Oh, Milwaukee hat.
So, I had an awesome time at the game. Minor league games are just kind of fun. But,
totally
just one of those kind of deals where I was just like, you know what? They got to the game, got there early. I'm always nervous. And that's why it's easier just to do this stuff by myself, just because I'm so paranoid about getting there late and missing out on bobblehead night. I'm one of those dudes that's like they are like this. They say they're going to open the gate an hour before the game, so that means we have to get there 2 hours early to be first in line for the gate. And so nobody wants to do that with you, so I understand. I do it myself. And when you're looking like I look, and minor league baseball is a family event, and you're the dude with your bobblehead standing in line to get a baseball signed by the old announcer guy that nobody knows who he was, and you're sitting there, you get some weird looks. It's like go to a Pixar movie by yourself, if you choose. It's the same kind of look. So I was like, I've had enough of this, and I had a good time. But I was kind of sitting there like, okay, 7th inning, it's tied up. And I'm gonna get out of here.
Gwinnett's not close, so I understand. It's not like that.
I got a ride. I got a long ride home.
Tony Schiavone did a little stint, a micro stint, as far as I know, in Athens, working for the University of Georgia.
Yeah, man, he still does.
Why is he not in the booth? Because it's
does.
one of the. And understand, full disclosure, I am a tech guy. But when Larry Munson is no longer your announcer,
he's no longer here. Period.
Exactly. When Larry Munson is no longer your announcer, why in the world you are going to replace him with 2 sports talk radio, frat boy, piece of garbage, reject extras from Entourage? I will never understand. That is one of the biggest falling off of cliffs in the history of the world. When Vin Scully wasn't doing Dodger games anymore, they got Charlie Steiner. That's amazing. Call Jim Ross. I don't think he's going to leave Oklahoma, but for the love of God, you can call him. And Schiavone would take that job 2 seconds yesterday. He would do it.
Getting a name like Tony Schiavone, you would know who he was. I couldn't tell you who does the Bulldog games.
I couldn't either.
And I'm a fan. I think they thought Chuck Dowell from good old Channel 2 was going to take the job. And Chuck is like, man, I'm too old. I like going to the game. I don't want to work at the game.
I can dig that. I can totally dig that.
That's who I thought they were going to get to replace Vince Dooley, not Vince, Larry Munson.
I do it a lot.
When he got to where he couldn't. First of all, he couldn't travel anymore, and second of all, he passed away.
He's not on the
and Schiavone does work with the Bulldog Network, but I don't think he's the announcer.
Man, I just think that voice doing play-by-play for the University of Georgia would sound great. And it ain't Larry Munson because there ain't another one of those. But Shivani's unique, and he obviously would dig it. I just think that would be so cool. I think he could do a really good job at that.
It's so neat to have an announcer like Tony Schiavone and him have the image that he has, and he could go work for Georgia. That might put an end to his podcast because he gets so flippant with the language.
Yeah.
They would put a kibosh on that, but that would be a fair trade-off, because I don't need that peek behind the curtain of Mr. Rogers dropping F-bombs and stuff. Who cares?
The pod of Shivani.
Yeah.
Shivani pod.
So that's what I did on Saturday night.
Awesome.
I know a lot of people were watching Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. When the pay-per-view was $100 and the Hooters in our town was charging $30 just to get in, I was like, I won't be watching it. So,
who cares?
I hear some people were disappointed with it. Some people had a good time watching it.
Just depends on.
I think both guys won.
Just depends on who you were pulling for. And yes, I agree with that totally.
That's what I came away with it with. It's like. Like what we were talking about earlier, man. Conor won when he signed the contract and got that paycheck.
We talked about it. That was
how can you lose?
That's what we talked about when we first brought it up. Well, it should be. I don't know why it's boxing. It should be MMA. Well, it should be half and half. It's very simple why it wasn't. It wasn't because Conor McGregor made $30 million and Floyd Mayweather made $100 million. That's why you've got to go where the money is.
You're conceding that Conor couldn't beat him.
You have.
So you want Floyd Mayweather to, I guess he could, by doing that, he's not putting his record on the line. So what good is it?
But there is no UFC fight in the history of mankind that is going to create that gate.
No.
Because UFC and boxing are galaxies apart. They're not the same thing.
Yeah.
You have to go to Floyd Mayweather to get that paycheck. So good on him for doing it. I totally agree. That's been the thing the whole time. Is Conor McGregor found a way to make a crap ton of money, and good for him. I'm glad he did.
It does no good for Conor to even beat him in the UFC because he still didn't get the record. If he wins that match, he's still 49-0 in what he does. So who cares?
There's no money. The whole thing's about money, and that's it. That's all there is to it. But it's good on him. We've talked about that. There were a couple of things after that fight. We've had like interview barbs all week that it's just like, this is what I think they're doing. This is what I think they mean. And this is where I think they're going. And crickets, deadgummit. But I'll tell you all three of them right now. After the fight, Conor McGregor was talking about, just full disclosure for the kid, because I'm not a McGregor guy, but let's be fair. Let me explain to you what he was talking about. He was talking about Mayweather coming forward and fighting, actually offensively fighting, and how he doesn't normally do that.
Yeah.
And he was taking the credit of like, yeah, man, I rushed him so hard in the first 3 rounds, he had to come out and he had to come chase me, he had to come out, he had to fight. And what the quote was that I made him fight like a Mexican. He fought like a Mexican. Well, if it's Conor McGregor and the use of the word Mexican, people are going to try to make it a negative thing, when in reality, in the context of a fight, it's a compliment. The way that Mexican boxers box, it's a huge compliment. What he meant was all offense, come forward, push the fight. That's what he meant. But what he really meant, and I truly believe, it was dropping a seed in the ground to try to fertilize a future date with Canelo Alvarez. I don't know if that's what he wants to do. I think it's what he wants to do. And my whole thing is, all we've heard about is...
He might think that's what he wants to do.
He's a brilliant promoter. He's an unbelievable self-promoter. He's brilliant. Yeah, this is me giving him props for that. I think that's what he was trying to do. It's a mistake. Much, much more so than the Mayweather fight would be. Because the Mayweather fight you take because of the money. No doubt whatsoever. And I know, everyone said that Mayweather would kill him too. All you've heard from Floyd Mayweather for 15 years, can't punch, no power, can't knock nobody out. And I was telling Jared, I missed my prediction by 1 round. TKO in the 9th, I missed it by 1 round. I was so disappointed.
I was saying that he would beat him. I wouldn't say he would kill him.
That's the thing, and that's the difference, is that it's not about the knockout. It's just not that. All you ever talk about is how weak the guy is, and then, well, Conor really won because he didn't knock him out. Okay, if that's your consolation prize, great. I think that Conor McGregor's $30 million is a better consolation prize, so good for him. But yeah, man, it's like the Canelo Alvarez thing. You won't have to worry about boxing fans telling you how much of a chance he does not have in that one. They will be far too busy planning the wake, and I mean the legitimate wake, because Canelo Alvarez doesn't have any punching power, can't knock anyone out. No one's ever said that, ever. It's you don't want that. You might think, and I get it, as far as just wanting that next big payday, it's smart to plant that seed. Don't think it'll ever happen, but I do want to give him credit for being smart enough to drop the seed in the ground. The other one was Dana White.
Saying he was dead.
This is inside baseball stuff that Dana pulled off, and I was proud of him. Because after the fight, he's hanging out, and I'm Dana White, pretend I'm Dana White, and pretend that Jared is Mayweather's man. And so he's standing there, and he's all smiling and happy, and he should be. And Dana's talking about, man, great fight, lot of action, gave the people what they wanted, it was all good. And then he veers off into the next seedling, and he's like, I've been working, when we came over to work with these guys, man, I'm telling you, first, these guys are great. And he's like, we come over to work with them, and I was scared to death about getting the fight done because of all the delays with the Pacquiao fight. And as soon as he said it, my ears perked up. I'm like, he's about to say it. He's about to say that thing that nobody wants to say. And
everybody
he's like,
knows, but
everybody knows it, but nobody wants to say it. And he points over to the guy, and he's like, wasn't these guys' fault? They weren't the holdup. And that's been the thing about that Pacquiao. Well, Mayweather just waited till Pacquiao was too old. Nope, he waited till his piss was clean. And what have we learned about?
What good did that do anybody?
What have we learned about Manny Pacquiao with clean urine? He can't beat nobody. Marquez knocked his soul out of his butthole. Mayweather roped him around, made him look foolish. The last kid that beat him on ESPN, people are still huffing, well, Pacquiao should have won that fight. Didn't watch it, couldn't tell you, but I can tell you this. It went in the L column. So that's the thing, is like now you're goading Pacquiao's folks, getting Bob Arum all hot and bothered. Okay, Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, good. That's name recognition, be another big payday. It won't be $30 million, but that's okay. Get you another payday, that's good. I do think that Alvarez is far too big of a bite, and that's okay. He's the fighter. You can talk that big stuff. That would be a huge mistake, and not like, man, Floyd Mayweather's gonna kill. No, man, you gotta be careful. And either way, even if let's say Golovkin beats Canelo, you don't want any of that guy either, because they're both nasty. I mean, like real. That's the deal. Oh man, boxing sucks. Boxing's boring. Well, watch an actual boxing match, and maybe it'll change your mind. Watch these guys in September. That's going to be amazing. But I was proud of the kid. I thought he was real smart, trying to promote himself further, and nobody said nothing. I'm like, help him out. He's your guy, which he's not. That's the whole problem. We talked about that, especially with ESPN. Not just especially, everybody. All the sports talking heads, they don't know anything about Conor McGregor or UFC. They couldn't tell you what he's good at or not. All it was, is this the guy that's finally going to beat up Floyd Mayweather? Okay, we're on his team. They can't even tell you how he'd go about it. Sad. Just sad. And then you can't even do him the favor of putting him over of how smart he actually is to plant that fight. And man, I need to tweet Skip Bayless, because, well, come on, promote your boy. You love Conor McGregor all of a sudden. Put Canelo out there. Yeah, you'll like that.
Since you dig him so much.
You love him so much. Let's hear it. But oh my God, Pacquiao versus McGregor, he'd have to leave the planet.
Good
that's
God,
his two.
Nobody wants to.
That's his two. That's his two boys.
Yeah, who just couldn't charge $30 for that one?
Nah, it's just name recognition.
They'll charge you $30 to leave.
Probably. Yeah, it's like, I mean, Pacquiao's done. It's just, like we said, that's all I heard about was how smart these guys are and how smart these guys are and how smart these guys are. Then they go out and show you and you don't say nothing. Like, well, that's what you were talking about. But the problem with that is that everybody on this planet knows when it comes to self-promotion, money team's where it's at. Simple as that. This ain't Mayweather's first rodeo. And don't you just love it? I mean, in the society where we love heels and we want to pull for the bad guy, how can you not love a dude that plays on prehistoric racism and just how good black kids are at boxing? In 2017, he can still make $100 million by telling you he's going to beat up whoever you put in front of him, and you believe every single time, this is the guy, and 50 times in a row, it's never been the guy. Somehow, people still believe it. Don't believe it. My gosh, man, stop wasting your money, man. Buy Ring of Honor tickets. That was way more fun.
Heck yeah.
Way more fun. And poor Morrow, oh boy, I don't know how much of that $30 million went to Mauro Ronaldo, but he earned it. As he did everything he could to make that fight sound competitive, and I mean to the bitter end. To the bitter end, he was really trying. Him and Bernstein both, they tried like hell to put him over. And only once, Paulie Malignaggi, only one time did he really, that I remember on the I watched like some crazy funky YouTube bootleg of it where you just see like a part of the screen, but saw enough of the screen to know what was going on.
Yeah.
This is all you have to know. Round 3, Conor McGregor. See those shoulders going up and down in the 3rd round. I told Jared, here's the fight in a nutshell. First round, because that's the whole thing. Well, he had to push the offense because he had to catch him. He had to go catch him. Then why was he pushing offense in the 1st round?
Yeah.
Because Mayweather came out going after him. You ain't behind on no scorecard in the 1st round.
Yep.
Push, 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 push. Left uppercut. Who hadn't heard about the straight right and the left uppercut? Everybody's heard about good old Conor's left uppercut that landed flush on the jaw of Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather did this. And you knew it was over. If you knew anything, you knew it was over because we talked about it earlier, man. Well, the footwork is different. Yes, footwork's a huge deal in boxing, but that's not the biggest problem Conor was going to have. Well, the punching power. McGregor's so much strength. If you think UFC guys are stronger punchers than boxers, you really don't know what you're talking about. But great punching power in UFC, it's nothing compared to a guy that's trained these for 25 years to knock people over and win.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. It's nobody's fault. It's just not anybody's. It's like saying, well, you know, if Conor McGregor kicks him in the face, it might be worse than if Mayweather kicked McGregor. Those things are equally ridiculous. But the biggest problem is time and oxygen, because you are never, ever, ever, ever going to get boxing cardio in 3 months.
Yeah.
However, knowing that time is the enemy, if you're fresh as a daisy in round 1 and you get that puncher's chance uppercut to knock the guy out and he keeps coming for you, Floyd Mayweather knew immediately, this guy cannot hurt me. I know y'all don't want to hear that because he's skinny and little and Conor will knock his head off. No, he got a shot. He got a shot to knock his head off because Mayweather gave it to him and then was like, nope, still here. And that was it. If you knew what you were looking at and you were not completely blinded by hatred for Floyd Mayweather, you knew the fight was over then. And then it's toy, oh, he's gassed now? Uh-oh, and you saw them pillows. I mean, it's not his fault. Good for him for getting his paycheck, but come on, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Well, if he trains, he could beat him in a rematch. Well, good luck talking Floyd out of retirement.
That was the whole point all along.
Exactly. The whole point was Mayweather's leaving at 50, and McGregor never has to work again if he don't want to. He can do whatever he wants to now. Good for both of them, man. It's exactly like you said. They both totally got out of it what they wanted.
Yep.
Good for them, man.
So that was Saturday night. Little did we know there was a horrible Monday night coming. I don't know where you want to. To me, the worst thing that has happened on Raw in a long time was the title change that they did
again.
It's like, well, why are you doing this?
Worst time since the last time. Every time the Raw Women's title changes hands, they put it on somebody at the pay-per-view and take it back the next night. It is so predictable and so boring. I mean, did we not all suffer through Charlotte Sasha Gate? I thought everybody got tired of that. I don't know why anyone is okay with this happening again in this regard. Because the man called Nia and what's-her-face a long time ago. If that's what you want to do, just don't change the belt.
Yeah.
Just don't change the belt. Why? It's the same thing that we talked about with Ziggler and Miz. Why change the title and then have Miz come back with the reunion tour and the countdown? If you never took it off of him, his day count would be up to 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
None of those things make sense. It's just, well, it was supposed to be Bayley, and Bayley was going to, that's the hilarious thing about that is, well, since it wasn't Bayley, we wanted to shake it up and do something people wouldn't see coming. Okay, so you're booking Bayley to lose to Alexa Bliss again. Boy, that's exactly what she needs. I'm telling you, that's just going to do her wonders.
I think this is, with what's happened, with Alexa Bliss having the title right back the next night after dropping it at SummerSlam, and what seems to be Nia going to take it. You have Asuka down in NXT who had to forfeit the title, broke her collarbone. Bring her back directly to the main roster. Don't bring her back in a rematch thing with Ember Moon or whoever gets it.
I agree.
I think putting the women's title on Nia Jax and giving her a really good run,
please God, because somebody needs one,
is perfect for Asuka to come in and beat her.
Yeah, I totally agree, because they had awesome. We were like the 2 people on Earth that loved their NXT match. It was awesome.
And Bayley comes back on SmackDown. Don't even do the Sasha Banks bullcrap. You bring Bailey back on SmackDown as the heel that you wanted her, that she should be.
Yeah, see, the Bailey heel thing I do not get. Sasha Banks is a heel in real life. Let her do it.
Let them both.
Exactly.
Let
her do it. But I love the idea of Bailey getting away.
Mm-hmm.
I will absolutely split it. Go. I mean, if you're gonna do, I appreciate doing the horsewomen 2 and 2 and all that. But dude, forget it. Put Bailey back over there with Becky and Charlotte. And Charlotte's coming back to Raw anyway eventually, so that's all good. But yeah, just
my first thought was, well, no, Asuka needs to be on SmackDown, but no, she'll work on Raw, especially if it's against Nia and not any. And
if you're gonna spin Bailey over to SmackDown, no problem. I mean, that division's better anyway. We'll help her out, give her people to work with. It's cool. It's all good, man. I love that idea, especially about debuting Asuka versus Nia Jax. But for the love of Christ, if you put the belt on Nia Jax, leave it there until her and Asuka wrestle, please.
Yes.
Please. That's all I want is just someone to hold the title. It has gotten so old. They did this 4 times. Charlotte's a 5-time champ. They bounced it back and forth between the two of them over and over and over again. Now, Sasha's won it a 4th time, and she's lost it on her first defense 4 times. Did I say 4 times? Well, who was I talking about? Sasha Banks or Alexa Bliss? Because now she's a 4-time champ, too. It's like, my God, guys, please stop this. Just give it to someone.
Yes.
But I love the idea of Monster. I mean, the show, in my opinion, it's frustrating because then you have Nia Jax as your heel champ, which is where your heel championship should be, in having like the Universal Championship where I wanted it to go, which was the Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose bracket. But oh no, we want Brock and Braun. Okay, so you want a Monster Dude champ and a Monster Ladies champ, and are you serious? I mean, you're going to see the same match twice on every card, except Nia Jax is a better worker. No offense to Braun, I like him, but you just throw stuff around.
She's Samoa. What's she gonna do?
You just throw stuff around, man.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like whatever, man. But it's all good. I do love the idea of her getting it and then that being the thing because it's a good pairing. And also, they really work well together, man. Yeah. So that'd be totally awesome. But for the love of God, keep Asuka away from Alexa Bliss. Don't do it.
You
don't do it. Alexa Bliss has now killed three careers. Now Sasha maybe can resuscitate hers. But the other two are still, I mean, Bailey is going to have to go to the other show just to even try and get back on track.
They're suspect.
And that's pathetic.
Talking about Braun and Lesnar, what I think should happen is if it's indeed going to be Braun and Lesnar and Braun getting the title, does then Paul Heyman see the weakness in Brock Lesnar and go with Braun Strowman?
I hope so, just so he'll say somebody else's name like that.
And that's a perfect name for it.
It is, yeah. It's a great transition.
Maybe it won't happen at No Mercy. No Mercy.
Oh, Mercy.
But it has to. It almost has to. I mean, that's a turn that you need to, especially if it's true that Lesnar isn't coming back after the contract. You have to start sowing that seed, and if you're going to have a return match, you have to do it. Get that ball rolling. So why not do that? But it's starting to look like maybe the Lesnar thing leaving won't happen, considering that John Jones got popped for that. Get on that gas trying to call vets.
Yeah, seriously. Poor Bones. Is that 5 now?
That's the end of a career.
He has 5 drug tests he's failed.
There's no coming back from that. And he'll try to appeal it, which won't work. But so the other thing that went down Monday night was the John Cena and Roman Reigns shoot promo, brother.
The pipe bomb part 3.
Come on, guys.
Good God. Good God. Where to begin with that turd sandwich? And that has like a little promo nugget in it too that I actually like. We'll get to that in a moment. But first of all, stop calling everything a shoot.
Yeah.
The pipe bomb wasn't a shoot. Get over it.
Yeah. Move on.
Miz and Bryan Danielson. Not a shoot. Get over it.
Joey Styles.
Not a shoot. Get over it.
Yep. It was
Um,
good. Wasn't a shoot.
Nope, it's just not.
Yep.
Where to begin?
I'm the one calling it good. I know I can feel Josh disagreeing with me, but
What's Joey Styles when his like, I'm a fucking forgive me, I'm a neo-Nazi and I hate everybody that's not conservative? Because see, it's weird. The politics
the
thing
one that was on the show where he was talking about him being the only one man team that had been before or since.
Pay-per-view alone. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so I mean that's been several years ago.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actual promos on the show, that's what I'm talking about.
Lord hell. Yeah, poor Joey. Poor Joey. Sad guy.
All this stuff is approved. I mean, just using that term, it just doesn't need to be used when it's not real.
That's just, it's weak. I mean, what passes for shoot now is, no, man, nobody wrote that for CM Punk. You're right, they didn't. He wrote it himself, but it was approved, like the man said. Guys making up their own interviews, that's what everyone used to do.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. And as for guys writing their own promos, that had nothing to do with what we saw last night.
Yep.
Nothing. I cannot believe how starved for this kind of stuff people are, man. It's just weird that apparently what you want WWE to be is the real world, and you just want the meltdown of the two guys finally bickering at each other over silly, just rubbish stuff, man.
Yeah.
But the biggest tell is that the first line of the promo is talking about how protected Roman Reigns is. Then you go on to say that Roman Reigns is a corporate bootleg of John Cena. Those two lines are miraculous.
Strike two.
They're miraculous if delivered by anybody other than the guy you're talking about. Protected. Yeah, Cena's going to pick on someone for being protected. And then you even invoke your own name. Oh, man, he's just a carbon copy of me. And you just said he sucked. He sucks because they
suck. No, you do.
Exactly. It's like you are admitting that you suck.
You suck now.
That is terrible. I'm like, that was one of the worst things of all time. Let me tell you the thing I did like
We
about
didn't
it.
think this one through.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what are you thinking about? You basically wrote down all your best singers and then realized if you have somebody that's not one of them, let Kevin Owens cut that promo.
Yeah.
Let AJ Styles cut that promo. Then it means something because you are burying both of those guys. But see, the company knows that and you can't bury both of them. I just think it's
That's
funny.
somebody else.
I just think it's funny that Vinny's got y'all all on that swerve of like, you used to hate Cena, now you hate Roman. I'm gonna make you pull for Cena, and that's exactly what he's doing.
And I'm over here like, no.
Dude,
No.
and that's exactly as though I'm gonna pull for Cena in this one. Yeah, you are, just like Vince wants you to. I just wish that people would stop thinking they're so smart. If you're still paying for this crap, then you must not be that smart. If you hate it as much as you say you do, and you're still paying for it, still wasting your time on it, I don't know what word there is to describe that, but smart would not be it.
Yeah.
But there was one very smart thing in that promo. I thought it was very good, because the big complaint now is, gotta wait till WrestleMania. We're wait till WrestleMania, and I understand. I mean, Roman versus Cena, I totally get. Oh, WrestleMania sounds like WrestleMania, but that's WrestleMania 35, not 34. Remember that. I'm pretty sure we're right about it. But here's what you do. Let me make sure I got this straight, Memphis. Johnny comes out here and talks about la-di-da or whatever, and Roman finally gets to his line like, well, I've done something you haven't done. That's retire The Undertaker. And the immediate attack of John Cena is, man, some broken down old man who hadn't beat him. What's the deal? I mean, he's demystified. He was an old man. Get him out. Who cares? Who cares that you beat The Undertaker?
That's a red flag.
That's the match you're getting at WrestleMania 34. We all wanted it last year. You're getting it this year. That's why you're not getting Cena versus Reigns. Because in the build-up to WrestleMania 34, when it looks like you're going to get the rematch of Reigns versus Cena, and the bell goes off, and the guy comes down and says, as pointing at Roman Reigns, you didn't retire nothing, and you need to watch your mouth. There's the promo, and then you're off and running. And you can work the three-way stuff in the build-up and la-di-da, but then all of a sudden you will yank Roman and put him in the thing for the Universal, which will probably be Brock Lesnar again by that time.
Yeah. Maybe he'll come back as American Badass and be like, you want some of this old man?
He could, yeah. That's the promo. That's it. That's all you have to do, and that's why they're not waiting till WrestleMania 34, and it's why they're giving you this WrestleMania match at
Murphy.
Oh, Murphy. But it's
No
like
Murphy.
they told you what they were doing, but still, it's like, oh, he insulted Roman. I'm excited that y'all are too easy. Y'all are too easy. Listen to the stuff beyond the stuff, man. You say WrestleMania, then you say Undertaker less than 5 minutes later. They're telling you what the plan is.
It's like, we're building to WrestleMania at 34. Roman and Cena are in the ring. Black, gone. Taker comes down. You're right. You did. Retire the Undertaker. Because I never wanted to come back as Undertaker in the first place.
Seriously.
Badass.
That's right, I'm the ABA, baby. Let's go, man.
On Big Evil.
Hit it, Fred, and then Limp Bizkit jump out and start playing their song.
Whatever that song was.
Oh, God. Yeah, man.
Wait.
That is a humiliating band. God,
Wait on the unemployment line.
seriously, that's, my God, they're
No.
horrifying. But seriously, man, come on.
Why didn't Wes just tell me he didn't like the music? I want to let him do some of his music.
All you had to do was listen to Wes Borland's guitar playing, and you would have known he didn't like that crap music, 'cause he was great. But yeah, man, it's like I just think, it's cool. I really, and again, I guess it's because I'm not a promo guy, man, but none of that promo, none of what passes for good promos anymore does anything for me. I just don't like any of them. I don't like any of the Miz's stuff. It ain't that they ain't good. It's
They
just
don't pay
that
off anything.
Miz is in a spot where everyone writes everything, so the guy that can seem like the best made-for-TV actor is the best promo guy.
Yeah.
He's good at that. He's way better, though, like we've talked about, when you just let him go.
Yeah.
I think Alexa Bliss is the other one everyone goes crazy over her promos, and I think she'd be the same way. I haven't seen it, but based off of like social media and like her friends and the stuff that people say about her, man, just let her kick it. I think it'd be way better, because just the snotty cheerleader, they're the same. Her and Miz are the exact same things. They teach them all the exact same stuff. Let them go, because those kids are probably got enough creativity to pull it off. I think they'd be better. I think with that spark, I think if you see that spark in what you get, it's like, man, that Alexa Bliss is a good promo.
Yeah.
It seems to me that people that get that pat on the back now fall in that category of like, man, imagine what they could do if they wrote their own stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe that's where it is, because it's not like I've seen it because I'm not a fan, but I've heard enough about it, and maybe it's like, well, maybe that's what other people are seeing.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, man.
Kick ass.
Frustrating. But yeah, dude, that's what that stuff's all about. And the whole deal is like, man, Cena roasted Roman Reigns. You know what that means? It means Reigns is going over on Monday night. Man, what's wrong about you, man? You are the big dog and you're the face of the company. You look work a dirt. Same old crap that we
There's an opportunity.
Serious, same old crap that we've always gotten. And then you can go right back to booing Roman Reigns for whatever reasons you don't like him. But fortunately, you can also then go back to booing John Cena for whichever reason you stopped.
Yeah.
Forget about that. Just go right back to it.
Everybody wins.
Very proud. I know it's a jerky thing to say, but I don't care. I am very, very proud of the fact that I'm one of the people on this planet Earth that I know that does not care about John Cena's gimmick or his face or heel status. When he was Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, I hated him every bit as much then as I do now. Do you want to know why? Because I don't like his matches. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Very, very simple. Oh, they just make him heel again. He'd still be trash in the ring. Trash is mean, but I don't like him. He's not my thing. But, dude, it's all good. I think that you're going to get the full-on NWO twist for WrestleMania 35, and Roman will win that one, too. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, he suck again. But, yeah, the Joey Styles promo I was talking about was this, like, super crazy anti-Obama thing, and it's like, in that business, you really think that you got run out for being a liberal? Are you sure? You think that Vince McMahon doesn't associate with you anymore because of your politics? Vince McMahon is a conservative. His wife is on Donald Trump's cabinet, in Donald Trump's cabinet.
Yeah.
That's not why they fired you, brother. Come on, man. Play that victim crap somewhere else. I thought that was supposed to be, exclusive property of liberals. I thought we were the ones that were supposed to cry about injustice and being treated unfair. But Joey Styles and Kurt Schilling started complaining an awful lot. Like, okay. Which actually, Kurt's been good. Kurt's advocates have whined on his behalf, but Kurt's actually been like, it's fine.
Man, he knew what he was getting himself
He didn't
into.
care. He didn't care. It's all like, can't cost the boss money. Because Kurt's actually a conservative or a capitalist, and he really gets like, the corporate sponsors are going to start running commercials. Yeah, I had to go.
Yeah.
Good for you, Kurt.
It took him a while to get there, but I think he finally realized that.
Yeah.
I guess I was a D.
I'm a jerk.
So My bad.
I'm not Randy Johnson.
Thanks for this organization for getting. When my daughter went out on Twitter, they got that guy fired for me. So I kind of now they're doing to me what I had them do to this guy.
Yeah,
so.
Seriously.
Yeah. Anyway,
Craig James is the other great one because Craig James got all what's his face Mike Leach at Texas Tech fired, and then he turns around and runs this. And this is a funny political one because this is ESPN. Boy, being a conservative will get you fired there. But they go to bat for Craig James and his punk kid, and then 6 months later, man, he's running this like crazy American flag. Hey, if you're white and live in Texas, vote for me because you're America. And ESPN craps the nest. It's like, yeah, that's the guy y'all backed. That's who you backed. See, it's fun. It's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun as a liberal when liberals crap the nest, because the big myth about liberals is they don't like money. They do. Corporate liberals especially really like money, so it's very, very funny that you want your principles and, well, we got to stand up because he's an employee and we're a family at ESPN, Mike Leach, and you were mean to his son, so we're gonna. They orchestrated his exit. And Mike Leach is doing fine. He's in Washington State now doing hunky dory, but that's the guy you back, and then you were upset because he was a conservative politician. Screw you.
If you're a human being with a heartbeat, you understand that money's important.
Absolutely. So stop trying to be high. Exactly. That's the thing that drives me so crazy about it.
May not motivate every waking desire, but it's important. So, Jesus.
Just don't pretend like you're above it.
Yeah.
That just drives me crazy. It's one of the reasons I think that a lot of people that are conservatives because at least the guys on the right side don't BS you. They don't lie to you about, we like cash. We love voting ourselves pay raises. At least they say it, because the liberals do it. They just don't tell, well, no, it's so terrible what's happening to the American taxpayer. Wait a minute, I made what last year? I just see, right? You know?
No.
Seriously, way too much politics stuff. Sorry about that. But that stuff irks me. And, Cena reigns doesn't hurt me quite so much. I mean, we knew it was coming eventually. I hope that's what they're going to do. I really do think that's what that little nugget was for. Sorry.
It's weird how, in my mind, when you think back, Mania comes right after SummerSlam, and you don't realize how much more we have to go, and people are already trying to book WrestleMania plans and matches. Like, we've still got a ways to go.
You have a Survivor Series and a Royal Rumble between now and then. That's the thing that makes me nuts. Is people
you forget.
People wanting to book WrestleMania off of SummerSlam. WrestleMania was the last one before SummerSlam. I don't get it. I do not get it, man. It's like, are you kidding me? That's just, and I'm the huge fan of the long stretch and like doing a program. John Cena versus Roman Reigns is not a program. It's a special attraction. Get that junk at there as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Well, Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar should be WrestleMania. You're out of your mind if you think they should stretch that one.
Yeah.
How many people do you want to see Braun Strowman beat up?
Yeah.
You're going to get bored with it. You're going to get bored of it. You want it right now, whether you know it or not, man.
Yeah. You need to cash in that ticket today.
Absolutely. And that's the way I feel about Strowman top to bottom. I'm glad he's popular right now, but make what you can, because this whole... He's the new Undertaker. He'll be the new Brock Lesnar. They can make money off of him for 10 years. I don't believe that for 1 second. Particularly, and this is the other thing that I know is going to hurt all your feelings, but whenever you have people that... Okay, sorry, we're reading. We get messages from the, we've got good questions from the audience.
That's important.
Yes, it's not a big deal. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I lost what I was saying because it was not important, so it doesn't matter. I know what it was. Face of the company, doing interviews and stuff like that. I know you hate Roman, but get used to it, because you hated John Cena too, and now you're okay with it. You've shown Vince that what he did with Cena is okay. Expect more from Roman. Just deal with it.
I think you just need to take a look at and consider who Braun's been working with, and then when he can take other people and have good matches with them, that's. But I think we're a long way from that.
I do too, and the thing is, the gigantic behemoth beast of a monster is never going to be able to do that. It just doesn't work. It does not work. Has Kane ever consistently made other people look better? No, and he's the man. I love Kane, but that's just not what
he's supposed to do.
That's not what 6'10", 330 does.
No.
We were talking about this earlier, man. the useful thing for a character, a monster character, is to be a monster in the weird sense, not in the behemoth size sense. Because the big guys, it's never going to be believable that many people could beat them up. But we talked about this earlier about Bray Wyatt. That's the huge missed opportunity with Bray Wyatt, because now it's too far gone. He's lost too much to be credible, and that's the biggest problem with Bray Wyatt now has nothing to do with Bray Wyatt. It's that you have done such a poor job of booking his win-loss record that now, even when someone beats him, it does them no good. So he is completely useless.
If you had Braun Strowman still with the Wyatt family, and Bray having control of the big monster, then you might have something.
You've got something you can work with, especially if you can somehow magically find a way to beat Braun, then you get to fight Grandpappy Bray in the ring. And that's the thing, it's a Cactus Jack thing, not an Undertaker thing, man. We talked about this earlier, man. Cactus Jack was that character that was weird and believable and scary when he would attack people and occasionally beat them. And that's what you should have worked with for Bray Wyatt. And I appreciate that you can't do thumbtacks and fire and stuff like that anymore. But how many guys I guess my point is, how many guys did Foley elevate to like a new level of performance? You had Triple H at the Royal Rumble. You had Edge. You had
Randy Orton for a little while.
Randy Orton, he moved up. He did it to Sting way back in the WCW days. He's just a useful guy where the guy, you've got to find some intestinal fortitude you didn't know you had, and it moves you into a new area. Now, I've been frustrated with Bray because it's frustrating to see him lose all the time, but now it's not frustration because the wins and losses don't matter. It's just the uselessness, because you can't even get anybody a push or a pop or something positive out of beating him. That's when you know you booked somebody into the ground, man. That's when, I mean, JR is always like, he's not being de-emphasized. Why? Because he's on TV cutting promos no one listens to? I'm sorry, I love JR, but we just disagree on Bray Wyatt. Wins and losses matter to that guy. He needs to win often enough and in enough interesting ways to where whenever you get that pay-per-view blow-off, it means something. That's cool. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Huge missed opportunity and would have been neat.
We're going to let him pour buckets of paint on people.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do the price. The one thing I will say about him and Foley is that, let's be blunt, Foley had a hell of a lot easier time getting guys over because you can't do that stuff anymore, which is funny because it seems to me that if I remember correctly, that Bray Wyatt had a babyface blow up his house, and then he had a babyface. Oh, what the heck was it? There was some other funky, crazy thing they came up with. Oh, it wasn't him. I'm sorry. You had a babyface blow up Bray Wyatt's house, then you had another babyface put a heel in an ambulance and smash it into a wall and try to kill him.
Yeah.
We can't let the heels get extreme. Okay. Yeah. But seriously, I mean, if we're doing things like the House of Horrors or the lead into the House of Horrors, which was the stuff in the ring and the weird promos, and if you do all, for the love of God, all your pre-tape stuff in the back, you can do special effects. There's other things you can do. You can, I mean, just come up with interesting technological stuff. And yeah, people crapped on the ring stuff, but you can't do blood anymore. You can't do fire anymore. But say what you will about those images in the ring. I'm standing by it. I believe in it. If Wyatt wins that match and Wyatt wins that series and Randy Orton goes away, and the way you bring him back is literally Bray Wyatt in the middle of the ring doing his thing, hold Orton in his hands, it's all good, and you flip to that overhead shot and all the lights in the arena go out and the skull, the image on the ring is a freaking viper skull. That's a heck of a return. Randy don't even have to be there for that.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you see before the commercial cuts off, before the show cuts off. That's a cool image. That's a cool return. And it's a callback. See if people remember. No one's got the memory for that anymore. Maybe not, but we're not even willing to try now.
Well, they're definitely not. You know,
if you don't try,
get a chance.
As weird as that was, I remember it.
Yep.
I had the same thing with something. I don't know,
There'll be plenty of people in the audience going, "What's that?" But they're going to do that anyway.
It doesn't matter. You're gonna have those folks anyway, man. Just give it to the people that are good. And with the same thing about the Bray Wyatt Finn Balor match, I'm like, got a booking for that too.
This is still over, brother.
Oh, don't know about that, brother. But yeah, I hate that we're still doing Bray and Finn because Finn won. He's already pulled out the demon and he won. That's silly, you know. Like my idea for that match, as quick as I can do it, is you got to have a little technical work in the background where whatever you paint on Finn Balor, he needs to be able to sweat it off real easy. I'm going Muda Liger here. It's a big deal.
Cool.
But as he comes down and crawls through the smoke and does his thing, man, either have the stuff, the red stuff, smudged out on the ramp where he can't see it, or go straight up carry and drop it on him from the roof.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. And then he's all like, what's going on here? Oh my God, man. And Bray attacks him and beats the crap out of him. Beats the crap out of him to where he gets sweating enough to where you can see it's just Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a normal guy. He's just Finn Balor. And I'm gonna crawl into the camera and I'm gonna give you that TV thing because once you just go back and forth, it's all
The
good.
Killer Bob crawl.
Yeah, exactly. Back and forth, have yourself a nice, good match. It's all good. Then all of a sudden, and this is something that it would be useful if Finn would go straight up Muda and have different moves or different gyrations or something different for the Demon character, which I guess the crawl is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So once it comes time to flip that thing over, man, once Bray Wyatt flips down to do the thing, have Finn Balor flip over onto all fours and give him the Finn Balor stare. Well, this freaks him out. He goes out the ring, starts backing away. He's the heel. Make him a coward. It works, man. Crawls all the way back up the ramp, man. It's all good. Oh my God. So you've got all this stuff. He's trying to leave. And Finn Balor crawls all the way up the ramp to get him. And don't tell me about how long it would take because we've sat through a Punjabi prison match this year, haven't we?
Oh my God.
And the way you end the feud is to basically have Bray Wyatt rolling around in the red stuff, begging off, trying to get the guy to not kill him. Finn Balor, from his crawl position, goes right up next to him, and you get the camera shot of the guy looking over the shoulder. And he reaches down into the red goop and literally starts painting his own face with it, and you cut all the lights in the arena out. The Fireflies will come back out. You've got to ask Brooklyn to do it. They'll turn them all back on, man. And the next thing you see is Finn Balor in the middle of the ring with his face all painted red because he was the demon all along. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point, is you're supposed to make the disconnect between Finn and the demon. That's why you drop the stuff on him. Mm-hmm. When the character switch is always, I'm always angry. It's the Avengers, it's the Hulk scene. I'm always angry. So you come back with Finn Balor with his new fresh coat of red war paint and the frickin' lantern. Cut the lights again and do the video thing, but this time it's images of Finn Balor. Goes off, go to your next match. Right. And the way you bring Bray Wyatt back, who knows? You can come up with something creative, send him home for a little while. But that's the kind of stuff you should be doing with that guy, man. If you want crazy, weird matches, you could do them. And he's the guy to do them with. But, I mean, that makes Finn Balor a god. That's awesome. Yep. If a win over Bray Wyatt meant anything. Mm-hmm. But they don't. And it's frustrating. Yep. The crazy entertainment thing, we call it sports entertainment. When you want to go over the top with entertainment and movie studio stuff, you could do it, but that's the guy you should be doing it with. But you can't have Randy win them all. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. But I like the Randy story better of the skull, and I think that's cooler. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm talking a lot.
That's what's up.
That's how we do. It's that good stuff.
We will see you guys later.
Take it easy. Have a good one.